we got to do a peony tour because the coolest peony on the internet just popped today. It's the Ito. That's one of the bigger ones. That's huge, but they get huge too. That is just amazing. Look at that. A week's worth of flower for one flower. You just don't get that with normal peonies. That dark chocolate tawny stem. Oh, that's cool. Look how fat and fluffy that is. Look how big that is. That's the biggest one of any of the peonies. It just has such a wide spread. These are my favorite peony I have ever seen anywhere. Probably over 100 plants we're gonna get in, but the first one is something I've wanted since last year. But look at all that color from afar. That is beautiful. Oh, and over here too, what we did today. Well, I promised to look at the horse chestnuts, and I'm not sure if this is the best light or the least best, but that is cool. Look at those. They are just huge. And I had 3 of these. Every one of them has been damaged by the deer. They're the first ones to get rubbed. This one didn't really do too much damage, but that is a cool tree. Bees love it too. And this one is almost better. I don't know which one's better. Those are massive. Those are just massive blooms. Look at that. That is huge. Mosquitoes are finding this. So this has been blooming for maybe 2 weeks now, and they seem to hold on pretty well. But that's where the damage came from last fall. I tried to wrap it up, but it seems to have done all right. It's grown a second leader, it looks like. That's cool. I don't know if I should cut that off, but I kind of like it. That's really cool. It's healthy too. It's got a lot of horse chestnut leaves. It's not the prettiest tree throughout the summer because it does get kind of splotchy. I could probably figure out why and mend that, but who knows. Ripley's out watching her bunnies at sunset. Yeah, this one's a little more full. Honeybees all over. Gosh, it's beautiful today. Well, if there's one thing I've learned from Monty Don, it's that sometimes you got to be ruthless, and that's what I need to do here in these front garden beds. We have got hydrangeas that won't grow in this full sun here on the very edge. We've got bulbs, we've got bindweed like crazy, and you just can't pull up and keep up with it. It just goes everywhere, and it grabs those hydrangeas and pulls them down to the ground, and it's just awful. And on top of that, we've got bulbs here. We've got lavender that we really like, but it just was planted way too close to the edge, and it's got bulbs within it. It's got these crazy carrot things that I think are poisonous, so free-range strawberries. So really all of this needs to come up so we can put a ton of color on these berm edges. We've got all the color ready to go in. We just need to have some of this stuff dug out, smoothed over, and really put a nice edge on it so we can get that showstopper look that it's going to be this summer, really the whole summer. I'm going from having just an August garden to having a full summer garden, and this is where it's got to start. Be ruthless and try to save what we can, but we're going to take a lot of it out. So there's a hydrangea there. There's one here that is trying to come up. Some of them have died already, so we've lost quite a bit of these. These are going to be blue, and I've got an idea to make them blue. I'm going to try one last try, but if I don't get this up, this is going to be the last year it's going to survive. And we got a nice buckthorn coming out of that. So this has got everything that I don't want. The wild grapes. So I think once I get these larger plants that survived, that's another hydrangea. I've got probably 8 of them, 9 of them that survived, so if I get them in a shady spot, I think we'll be okay. I think I'll keep the Incrediballs because those look awesome even though they're drowning out this weeping redbud, but we'll see how it goes. There's another hydrangea. can't even talk now.
Want me to do it?
Yeah, let me try one more time. Today we've got a lot of plants to get in the ground, and we have got some help. Gavin's gonna be earning his first paycheck for a finished job. Not just starting the job and going off and playing soccer or watching TV. He's actually gonna earn the money by starting and finishing the job. So we've got quite a job. We have got, well, starting out, what I'm planning on doing is there's probably over 100 plants we're gonna get in. Well over 100 plants, because I don't think this is everything. But the first one is something I've wanted since last year. This is Supertunia Saffron Finch petunia, and it's not a Vista, so it's not gonna be giant like the bubblegum and have that spread. But I think in these front berm beds, we don't really need the spread. We just need alternating color and something to add color to those berms that I've created. I went ahead and trenched the edge, and we've got the second one that I'm planning on doing is Superbena Sparkling Amethyst, and that is something that I passed over when I see an individual plant, but when I see that in the pros do it on drifts, this thing turns into a monster. Needs very little water. I think I'm gonna give it drip, but together I think that really makes that yellow pop. And we may put in some Hoopla Vivid Orchid, I think is what it's called. Hoopla Vivid Orchid, also a Supertunia, not a Vista, so it's not going to be that size that we want in the bubblegum drift bed. But I don't know if that's too much different things, but that's 3 different textures, and one's going to be a monster. So I think maybe putting those down by the edge might be the best bet, but I might zigzag and see how many plants we can fit in that bed. And I've also got this side too. Ann Rose put in some real small lavenders to complement the lavenders we're trying to salvage here, but I'm probably going to put some under the weeping redbud as well. And I don't know, we'll just see how many we can get in. We're shooting for over 100. I think it'll be probably in the 130, 140 range, so that's a lot of plants. We're going to start digging holes, and Gavin is going to get to work. He is dressed for success. Look at those knee pads, sandals. He's got his sun hat. Both got our sun hats.
I don't have a sun hat.
Oh yeah, where'd yours go?
I don't want
Go get Grandpa's. Gavin is getting his sun hat. I don't know why I said he had it on when I was looking right at him. But anyway, we've also got the Vivid Orchid, but I got these salvias. I don't know if that'll work in such a small bed. We'll probably put that in the next one. We're gonna do as many beds as we can today, but this is Rockin' Deep Purple, and we've also got something on the pinker side, which is Unplugged Pink, and it looks like that broke off, but that's a cool flower. And these get huge. That one looks dry. I don't know why that's so dry, but that's just a cool dark purple head against that nice real pretty green. And once those heads do bloom, they've got kind of a dragon's mouth that comes out. That is just awesome. Working hard? What? The robins are like chickens. They're just going through our holes, picking out the worms. Look at that. Brazen robins. They're not scared of us at all. I've noticed that this spring. Just like chickens scavenging. Me digging the holes for them. They're picking out plenty of worms. That's cool. He's coming right up to Gavin. Crazy. Well, Gavin had to talk to him. Make sure you smile. Those robins are crazy, man. They're just chirping everywhere. We got everything situated where I think I want it. And we've got 60 Supertunia Saffron Finches and 20 Superbena Amethyst Mist. And really that just snakes around, and I think that'll really pop. All that yellow, I just love that. And that dark, kind of 2 shades of purple. We've got white, dark purple, light purple on the Amethyst Mist. And that'll just spread. Which is kind of what I want to cover that, and the petunias themselves won't do that. So we've got the yellow color, we've got the spreader in the Superbena, and just loads of hydrangeas about to pop. So if we get this in before the hydrangeas pop, that'll be awesome. And on this side we've got the Hoopla Vivid Orchid, and which Ann Rose really liked. I like that too. I wouldn't have bought it, but I'm glad she did. And we're just going to put that in with the lavender, and I'm wondering if a potato vine would look nice with that. I don't know. I might wait for Ann Rose to ask. She took off when it was planting day, and she's really my sense check on which colors go together, so she knows I wanted to do this Supertunia Saffron Finch, but I think she'll like this, but I hope that's what she wanted. We've got 4 left over. She can use in containers if she wants, but that looks cool. Just walking around that bend, seeing all that color, and then in 2 weeks all these different hydrangeas, Incredibles or Invincibles, and then later on in July we'll have paniculatas over there. The black lace elderberry is getting ready to bloom, and that's a good one. That's just got blooms everywhere, getting ready. So that'll be some nice color. Got a stick I gotta cut out there, but I gotta get these planted, and Gavin's about spent, so we're gonna get these in the ground and watered really well, and then I'll set up the drip irrigation. So buddy, what we want to do is make sure that air does not touch the roots as short a time as possible. I don't know if I said that right, but these little roots, if they touch air for more than 3 to 5 minutes, they'll die. So the idea is get it out of the pot and into the ground as fast as possible. We are trying to keep that dirt that we put in this hole where we can use it. So I'm just going to stab down after I push it to the sides and get that plant as deep as possible, and put that dirt back in around that root ball, and that will close off the air from touching those roots. So it'll be fine until we water it, but if it just sat out here for 5 minutes, maybe even less, it would those outside roots would start dying. And now the ground has sealed that air off from touching those roots, so we can water that when we're done here, and everything should be good. You want to take it? What I'm doing is letting gravity. I'm holding the edge of the pot, you see, and it fell right out of the pot. Sometimes it doesn't do that, but we want to get that in the ground fast now. Here, let's take it out one time. 1 second. So if you stab down and pull to you see how that's a little bit deeper? Mm-hmm. And now you can use your hands to pull up the plant and not break the plant off. And you've got good dirt up here. There you go. And once you get it all in there, you can firm it in with both hands, kind of push down. Not on the plant root part, but yeah. Perfect. Next. Only 900 to go.
What?
Maybe put the plant down because you've had a landslide there. All right, all this good dirt that we just put in there, that's compost and topsoil. And then we'll fertilize it, and we should have plenty to eat and drink once we get the water line in, which is always fun. Or you can poke from the bottom. Oh my gosh. Dad promised to be cool, right? Mm-hmm. Good one. Let's try to save Mom's lavender plant here. 996 to go.
Oh, come on.
You love gardening.
I'm only doing this for the money.
What are you gonna get? What are you gonna buy with your earnings?
New basketball shoes, or a baseball bat, so I can next time when we go to a ball game, I could try to catch a ball.
Okay. What kind of ball game do you want to go to? Maybe don't pile it onto Mom's lavender. You can pile it on all sides, all right, bud?
Depends.
A little deeper. Oh no, that's pretty good. You don't like those tags in there, do you? No. You're clean. You're fancier than me. So just realizing the Saffron Finch's root systems are almost waterlogged and non-existent. I just realized I haven't been using biotone in any of these holes. So I'm gonna go start doing that, and at least get half of them. Last one. There's already bindweed. The carnage of pots. But that looks good. If those Supertunia Saffron Finches can root out, everything that was in this kind of pot with that pinch edge was completely waterlogged, and I've had them for maybe a month now, and the root system was completely dissolved. Everything in this kind of pot, just a normal pot, was completely fine. I don't get it. That looks to me like it has better drainage. It had to have been a different type of compost growing medium than it was in, but given the choice, I'm buying that pot every time. Not that guy. I don't like getting them out of that. It didn't seem to waterlog the bubblegums, but because they came in some of these. But the Saffron Finches, if you see them in this kind of pot, I would buy that first. I hope I don't have to plant those again. But they look pretty good for now. And they've kind of bloomed out more than they were. It's just the vines are really spindly, and that's just going to take time for them to reroot and kind of bush out. But that looks pretty good if you don't mind the pots. The robins are still hunting the worms. Jeez, they're everywhere. Let's see if Gavin cleans up to finish the job, to earn the Baseball glove? What did he say? We'll see. Hey Gav, let's clean up. That was bad. We don't do that. Don't eat that. Turns out Ripley loves biotone. So all of the biotone that I put on these petunias is going to be an attractant for a while. So that's great. Don't do it, Rip. Don't do it. How was it gonna at him? Don't do it. Don't eat that. Golly. But it's cooled off a lot, and I took a break and I found maybe 2 more flats of Supertunia Vista Bubblegum this weekend. So I'm gonna pop them in here. I blasted 22 holes, I think, and these are even bigger than what I planted. Smaller pots, but they're larger plants already, so they'll spider out. But that is a monster. I planted this last week, and it's gonna be the best bed, I think, of the yard. But it's still like, I gotta keep checking on Ripley, make sure she's not eating it. So I'm gonna grab 1 more flat, and then I'm going to start putting these in. So that'll be a total of either 80 or 100 bubble gum in here. I can't quite remember. I think I had 6 flats, 8 flats. 8 flats of bubble gum. So this is almost 2 more, so almost 100. That's a lot of bubble gum. That's a lot of petunias. But then, who knows what we'll do? Maybe irrigation. Well, I got a lot done today, and it was nice having Gavin help me get some of these planted. Not all of them, but I think he got enough done to earn his paychecks. So I'm sure as soon as he gets home from his party, he's gonna wanna go shopping. So we got the Supertunia Finch in, we got the Superbena Amethyst, and 20 more Supertunia Vista Bubblegums in the Vista bed, and I think that is just gonna be awesome. They were really big plants. It was kind of disappointing to see that the finches on some of the pots had wet roots and really no roots because of that, so they were being overwatered. I water once or twice a day in the morning and evening, so I can't imagine that was too much. So it's whatever medium they were in, or it's just I watered that batch too much. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see how they do. They look really good in the garden, and I am really pleased with that. Look at all that yellow and purple. Those hydrangeas are going to just explode in 2 weeks, maybe a week. I don't know. They've got big heads on them already. or not big, but they're starting. That's gonna be cool. And that nice cleaned up bed, that you saw how bad it was, just overgrown with creeping Charlie, which there's still some of it back there. I had to spray a little bit, but I don't know of another way to do it. I dug it all up, pulled it out, and sprayed what was left. But that is just spectacular, I think. And if those like double, triple in size, that will just be insane. That's fun to come home to. And then we've got the Hoopla Wild Vivid Orchid, I think. That is going to be really pretty. So that's a nice little, just a simple white and purple color to go with a lot of the lavender that we've already got here. So that'll go straight down the line. I did not put the sweet potato vine in because I think that would just kind of make things look a little too busy. And then in July we'll have the paniculata hydrangeas start popping. But that is cool. This last one's little bit, he'll be decent. Damien, if you see this, hope you never do. But we got to do a peony tour because the coolest peony on the internet just popped today. It's the Ito. It's one of my Itos, and it's got the most color of really any peony I've ever seen. I'll go around and save that for last, but you want to come with me? You want to come with me on a garden tour? You just want pats, don't you? Well, I got stuff to do here, girl. I'll talk to you in a minute. So these are the herbaceous peonies that are one and done. Really, one day they'll bloom and then they'll fall apart, and they look like this. And you've got to deadhead them, or else it'll just try to grow seeds. So we're busy popping these off. That one's kind of cool. It's got on the seed head, it's almost got like a flower. I don't know, never seen that. Then you get to the more interesting stuff. These are super dense, almost David Austin Rose type peonies. They're just huge. Look at this red one. It's just the size of, it's bigger than my hand. That is, and they last for 5, 6, 7 days. I don't know. I guess it's been, yeah, at least a week, and a lot of them are still holding on to their flowers. So we've got a peony bulldozer here. Ripley, come here. Ripley, come here. Yeah, she's busy. Oh, there she is. She usually shoots through these peonies. That's one of her trails right there. But yeah, you can go. I was just trying to prove a point. But that is like a rose that just keeps on rosing. Those are cool. Those are amazing. And when they're just starting to open, that's kind of my favorite look right there. With real tight, high petal count, and just tons of them. There's 56 in this bed, and they're just amazing to look at and feel. Look at that. That is crazy. I cannot get over that. Every year they're better, and oh, it's just, and that's like a, this is like a 1 week old bloom. That's how much is still there. It's a little sunburned compared to a newer bloom. And then maybe after 8 days, 9 days, they'll start to disintegrate, and you can go ahead and take that seed head off. So energy goes to the root, not the flower. Trying to make a seed. So just be a bigger plant next year, which is what we want. But that is, there's a million of these. One plant has probably 20, 25 blooms on it. And the quick fire is getting ready to bloom. It didn't bloom much last year. I don't know why, but it has got a lot of blooms this year. Maybe it's a bumper crop. I don't know. That's one of the bigger ones. That's huge. I'll put my hand behind it and see if I can palm it. That's bigger than my hand. Golly. And there's some that some people will never even see. The white ones are real pretty though. Kind of don't know what happens to some of them. Might just sacrifice that one. But they get huge too. That is just amazing. Look at that. A week's worth of flower for one flower. You just don't get that with normal peonies. Probably these kind. The herbaceous are fun to look at from a distance, but these puffballs, whatever, I don't know if it's an Ito or what. Found your frisbee, Ripley. Are just stop the car, get out and check them out. Then you got the pinks. This is a super light pink, just starting to bloom here. And these are nothing compared to what the end peony is going to look like. It is just a rock star. Big ones, more big ones. This is a pink one that's been open for about a week. You can just see the pollen on the inside, barely. So there's pollen for bees, but look at that. Jeez, that dark stem. I just love that. Look at that. One stem, 4 flowers. That dark chocolate tawny stem. Oh, that's cool. Here we go, wind. Here's another herbaceous that's kind of a one-day performer. So these bloomed yesterday and it's done. But that's a really neat little attribute on the seed heads. It's got a little pink, it's stiff, so I don't know what the point of it is. More cool ones, more cool ones. These light pink ones are in Rose's favorite. These are cool, man. Oh, if I was a bouquet guy, I'd be making bouquets. But I am not a bouquet guy, or I don't know how to make bouquets. And we come around the bend to the Rockstar. Oh, it's closing up a little bit. Look at that. Oh, I'll have to get it in the morning around the next one. These are my favorite peony I have ever seen anywhere. They open up and they have this almost peach color on the inside that is, I can't even describe how cool that is. Never seen it. And I can't remember what makes it an Ito. I think a guy in Japan first developed these, or bred these, and probably just made a lot of them. But this is my favorite iris. My neighbor gave it to me, and I love yellow now for some reason. That is just the coolest tongue. Just a bearded iris, I believe. I'm not sure what the difference between Siberian and bearded irises are, but I think Siberian might be a little smaller, but if anybody knows, please educate me, because I'm probably not going to look it up. Yeah, look at that. That is so nice. Probably my top 5 plant in the yard, and I didn't even buy it. I must have been talking about it at my neighbor's, and she came over with hers. She cut it up and gave me one, so that was nice. I was probably gushing about how nice it was, and she felt sorry for me that I didn't have one. But we've got yellows as well, and we were really into yellows one year, and they're kind of expensive, so we don't have that many, of course, but they really poof up. Look how fat and fluffy that is, and it's stiff. It's not like it would fall apart like any other peony. Like I can mess with it, and it's not, no petals are coming off, even close to coming off. That's just a stout plant, a stout flower, really. But that's barely open, and that is probably, if that was a rose, that would be the prettiest rose on the planet. If you like yellow. And here's another, I thought it was an Ito, but it looks like just the other giant gargantuan psycho peonies that we have, but that's a good one. Just when you have so many so close together, it's hard to really see and appreciate how complex and just amazing that flower is. But this one's all by itself, so I appreciate it even more now that nothing's next to it and I haven't seen anything for 5 seconds. But we've got a few other peonies over here with the Saffron Finch. There's another purple pink one back there. But here's our other yellows. And it's a little bit different. This one's a lot more delicate than the one I just showed you. And a bird must hang out above it. But it's real ruffly and beautiful. And I think it's the same kind as the one right next to it here. But look how big that is. That's the biggest one of any of the peonies. It just has such a wide spread. and that's pretty sturdy. It's been blooming for several days now, and there's lots more blooms to go, but I need to start snapping those off as well because I want a bigger plant next year, not more seeds. And I've already started the irrigation overhaul that I'm going to do probably tomorrow, and I'll show that probably in tomorrow's video. But this has just been a busy day, great day of getting lots of color here in the front of the house, working on getting these beds filled up with color before I go out of town and make sure everything's watered. And I'll show that whole setup for my irrigation in the next video, and I show it in a lot of other videos, so it's really not anything too complex. But I do use a beehive watering system, and they come with 4 timers. They're connected to your phone. You can turn them on a schedule. I run things every day right now. In the summer, I'm going to want to make sure my limelights by the road get water, because they bloom, they rock, and then they burn up in August because they just we don't have rain. I don't know why. I guess nobody has rain in August. But beehive watering system, Bubblegum Vista, has just started actually. So it alerts you when it turns on. I run it for 15 minutes, I think, out here on the Bubblegum Vista bed. But so I've got 4 of those. Everything is fully automated. If you feel like something's not getting watered, you can manually water it and turn it on for 10 minutes or an hour, or however long you want. But we're on a well here, so I'm not sure how much I should be doing it actually. But I'll show you the bubblegum bed one more time before I go, and you can see that the water is on, because I have a visual in a lot of my beds really. Obviously you can go to I haven't quite finished everything, but you can see that it's dripping water there. But I have a sprayer here in the middle, and that's just kind of a visual if you want to see from afar that it's working. You've got everything's running okay for the most part, and I just like how it looks. I just like seeing that spray in the sunset. And I'll go to the other side here, but it is, in 2-3 weeks when this bed fills out, it is going to be mind-blowing. I bet. I don't want to say anything, but look at that. The sunset, the mist, the pipes sticking out, the unkempt bed. We're gonna fix that, I promise. This week, tomorrow. But look at all that color from afar. That is beautiful. Oh, and over here too, what we did today. Gosh, that's over 120 plants in that front bed there that we put in. That is a lot of plants, and my back is sore, so I'm going to say goodbye, and thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Are you tired too, Rip? Are you tired too? You're always tired. You're tired. Aw. You wanna go have some pizza? You wanna go have some pizza? Yeah. No, go to sleep, gosh. Gosh. Oh, this is a good girl. Yeah, you are. Maybe you should take a bath. That's what we could do tonight. I love you.